Hi, welcome to our channel.
I hit dead on with it, though. Actually, perfect. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a video on my favorite rifle. I was nominated to do this video by Desert Tactical. If you guys haven't seen his channel, I'll link it in the description below. Definitely recommend you check it out. He's a cool dude. So the idea for today's video is just going to be kind of showcasing and showing off what is my favorite rifle. When he nominated me to do this video, I did have one rifle that instantly came to mind, although I knew it was going to be kind of difficult to just simply say that was my favorite. I do enjoy quite a bit of different types of firearms. Most of you know, most of the shooting and pretty much all the interest that I have in firearms is based around self-defense and the protection of myself, my family, my state, maybe even my country if need be. But with that said, I definitely do have a favorite. But before I show you my favorite, I want to show you a couple others that are still my favorites, but they're not my absolute favorite. So let's get into the first one. That is my Ruger PC Charger. This is technically classed as a pistol. It does have a SB Tactical folding brace, BCM grip, has the Jawbone magazine release, a Holosun optic, and a Enforce weapon mounted light. Absolutely love this firearm. I have an entire playlist dedicated to just this gun, and I'll be adding more videos to that in the future. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it in the description. I've been really pleased with this thing. It's been extremely reliable. It's really fun. It's super compact. It is a takedown. If you're not familiar with that, the whole front end here will just pop right off. And I really like this firearm. It also suppresses really well. So when you put a pistol suppressor on here, the overall length is still really short. And it just makes this thing really handy. This is definitely one of my favorite firearms, but it is not my absolute favorite. With that said, let's get into the next one. So this is a change of pace, obviously. This is my dedicated long-range rifle setup. Most of you probably don't even know that I am into long-range shooting. I will admit I don't do it nearly as much as I used to, but it is something that I still do enjoy from time to time, and in the past I have shot literally thousands of rounds at some pretty ridiculous ranges. So this has been my long-range setup for about 6 years now. I've often thought about updating it and going to something a little bit newer, a little bit different, but there's just no reason to. This thing shoots lights out. It's extremely accurate. It's always been extremely reliable. I've put, like I said, thousands of rounds through it. Never a single problem. What this is a Savage Model 110 chambered in .300 Winchester Magnum. It's sitting in a HS Precision stock. We've got an adjustable cheek piece here on the back. We have a 20 MOA rail to get you a little more elevation for those real crazy long distances. And then on top here, we have a Night Force NXS optic. This is the 5.5 by 20 by 56. Like I said, I really like this rifle. I've always enjoyed shooting it. I've hunted with this thing some in the past. I've killed several deer with it, and I have shot hundreds and thousands of rounds at steel targets with it at long distance. And this is definitely one of my favorite rifles, but it's still not my absolute favorite. With that said, that brings us to my absolute favorite, and I'm sure some of you will be disappointed because it's going to be very generic, and it's just an AR-15. I am a huge fan of the AR-15 platform for a variety of reasons. I like AKs, don't get me wrong, but ARs are better. And I know that's going to stir up some heat in the comments, and that's okay. We can disagree. You can have your opinion, and I can have mine, and life will go on. But I think the AR is a superior platform, and it's just what I prefer. This AR in general, or specifically I should say, is my absolute favorite. So what I'm going to do is go over this thing from one end to the other and just tell you some specs. First off, I will say I build pretty much all of my ARs. I think this is the only AR I have that I didn't build. I bought this just as a upper and lower and pinned it together, and then I changed a few things to make it, you know, how I wanted. But the heart and soul of this, it is a BCM Recce 16, and then of course it's got some other goodies added on it just to make it even better. So we'll start at the muzzle here. We have the BCM there compensator, so it's a flash hider and compensator combined. I really like this compensator. I'm normally a fan of the good old A2, but this thing does a really good job. I also like the fact that it is the same dimensions as an A2 flash hider. So if you have a suppressor like the Griffin Armament that will go on an A2 flash hider, it will also go on this. So that's nice. Moving on back, we have our flip-up sights, front and rear. These are made by Troy, so really good high-quality sights. Next, we have our handguard itself. This is a 15-inch BCM KMR handguard. Also have the BCM panels in there, just covering up the key mod that I'm not using. Next, we have our weapon light. So that is the Streamlight HLX 1000 lumen. Weapon lights are important, guys. As good guys, we don't shoot at shadows. We don't shoot at targets that we can't confirm are targets. You know, bad guys move around at night, so a weapon light is super important, whether it's on a rifle like this or on your concealed carry gun like this little 365. It is mandatory, in my opinion, to have a weapon light on any firearm that is in a defensive role. That's my opinion. I also have this light in a Scout mount, since it is a Scout style light. This is a Arisaka offset mount. I have the Streamlight pressure pad here mounted on top. I've used their mounts to hold it down, and then I also added a couple zip ties just to make it a little bit more sturdy. And then I wrapped that just with some tape just to kind of hide all the sharp edges and just make it a little bit cleaner there. Moving on back, we have a QD port right here, also made by BCM. In that, we have a Magpul MS4 sling. When it comes to rifles, when it comes to slings on rifles, I should say, it kind of goes hand in hand with me about a weapon light. Any rifle needs a sling. As I heard someone say once, a sling to a rifle is the same as a holster to a pistol. I absolutely agree with that. Having a sling on your firearm, being able to shoot with the sling, and the sling works around you, not you around the sling, is very, very important. Moving on back, we have the optic. This is a Aimpoint Pro, and it's sitting in Aimpoint's QD ratchet mount. I love other optics like Holosuns and Trijicons and stuff, but I firmly do believe when it comes to optics, there's Aimpoint in everything else. And I'm mainly referring to the context of Red Dot optics. There's a lot of other good ones out there. Obviously, I have a Holosun right here, and I really enjoy that, and I have lots of other Holosuns. But if I had to have one Red Dot optic from now to the end of time, it would be an Aimpoint. Let's see, moving on back from that, we have the BCM charging handle. Obviously, we have the BCM bolt carrier group. Have a Odinworks magazine release. Have a set of K&S anti-rotation pins. We have the, I believe it's the Hyperfire EDT trigger. Really, really like this trigger. It gives you a nice clean break. It's like 4.5 pounds, but it doesn't really sacrifice, or it doesn't sacrifice any reliability. So you get that mil-spec reliability, but with a much cleaner, crisper trigger. Also, we have a Lancer magazine. I like Magpuls, Hex Mags, OK Industries. They're all good, to be honest with you. I have them all. But if I had to have one magazine, it would be the Lancer. It's definitely my favorite. See, coming on back, BCM grip, BCM end plate for our sling, and then the BCM stock. So yeah, pretty basic. I would, personally consider this just kind of a basic rifle setup. I'll be completely honest, I could pull out basically any AR-15 that I own, whether it's a little shorty or even a longer one, and they all kind of look like this. This is my preferred setup, but this rifle in particular is absolutely my favorite. One more thing that I didn't mention that I definitely want to touch on, this does have the pencil profile barrel. I know there's a lot of debate about that. I absolutely love pencil profile barrels on this type of firearm. Now we go to something like this precision rifle here, now you've changed the context and that's completely different. But on a rifle like this, patrol rifle, fighting rifle, whatever you want to call it, I like a pencil profile barrel. Well, I think that's about it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. It was just a good excuse to get these guns out and play with them a little bit, maybe even shoot them a little while I'm down here. And I thank Desert Tactical for giving me the nomination. And once again, if you guys haven't seen his channel, I definitely recommend you check it out. If you have any questions you want to ask me directly, Instagram is the best place to do so. Also, if you're not following me over there, I would appreciate that as well. And as always, thanks for watching. See y'all next time.